Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first two conversations with Philip, how we got started. We looked at his spreadsheet. Remember, one rental at a time is a channel that is for you. Like, subscribe, comment, interact, share. A lot of you need to be sharing Philip's story. If you did not watch episode number 2, where he shows you how he turned $3,500 into a lot more money, you're really missing out. Philip, again, congratulations. Thank you for doing this.
Hey man, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you having me on. Seriously, thank you.
No problem. So this episode,
it's been fun to be able to talk to everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So this one's going to be fun because this is like future Philip. You're 28 today. How old are you now?
I'm 31 today. 31 today.
31. Okay. So, oh my God, you're in your 30s. You're so old. I say that when my daughter's 30, so that gives you some impression. So, wow, you could be my kid. That's amazing when I do the math in my head. Anyways, I digress. I want to talk about the future a little bit. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I want to go back. So we've had the great conversation. We've talked about how you started house hacking, or how you started, you moved out, you moved forward, bought a fourplex, all this stuff. I want to hear about the wife. Is she involved in real estate at all? Is she a saver, or does she have a bunch of Gucci handbags that we don't know about? What's money like?
She helps us play really good defense, and so she does a lot of the budget. She helps us play good defense, and I'm more of the offense, trying to build the portfolio. At first, she was, I would say, much more against the idea, and very much listened to outside sources as far as the risks, the downsides, the negativity, and I think that over the years, she has more and more grown to enjoy doing it together.
Yeah, it's amazing once you have a proof of concept that works. You're like, oh, honey, let's do another one. Let's do another one, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And as mentioned before in the previous episode, there's still that conversation of, there's still painful points as far as like, hey, we're never going to do that flip on Altamira again. We're not going to go back there where Philip's gone 40 hours a week, for weeks on end, trying to repair stuff. You lose money,
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Well, you mentioned in an earlier episode, you're right around $5,000 a month, positive cash flow, or net, I think we called it. What is your freedom number? Is it $6,000, $7,000? Roundly speaking, what is that freedom number?
Our budget is about $6,000 a month. So I'm getting very close to just the financial freedom number.
Yeah.
And every time we get closer, it feels better and better. I'm super excited.
Yeah. I mean, well, so conservatively speaking, you could be at the $6,000 number, looking at rent increases, another acquisition or two in 24 months, thereabouts.
Yeah, that or less. I'm fairly confident. Sure. And that's that's the financial independence number. The financial freedom number is quite a bit higher than that.
All right, well, let's talk about that. So I mean, what I talk about all the time is everybody talks about legacy wealth. It's the thing to talk about on social media. You don't start there.
Sure.
Better future, cover your expenses. It's stairs, and you can stop or go anywhere you want. So $6,000 is the first number. What's the second number?
I don't know. I think you got to shoot high in order to go for the moon. But I will caveat that with, so let's just say my financial freedom, amazing number would be $20,000 a month. That's kind of my goal. I were to say in 10 years, that's the goal I want to hit.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm just trying to do it in a safe, slow, steady manner. So, Mike, I hope you get a chance to some point talk to my brother. He's the opposite of me as far as slow and steady. He is amazingly quick, good, slow and steady, and also very active, very willing to take on crazy, huge projects. He's 21 years old. Anyway, he would be a fun conversation too. But all that being said, I definitely want to do this where I buy 2 or 3 places a year, and then just take the slower, steady route.
Okay. So you're $5,000 a month. Does the wife, I don't know how to say this, have a day job? Does she work, or is she raising the kids and running the books?
She doesn't. I was able to, I grew up in a family of 12 kids, and we were taught a lot of good hard work. My mom stayed at home with us. We were homeschooled. And anyway, so early on, we were living on both our incomes, and we decided, okay, even though I only made $40,000 on the first couple of years of marriage, I decided, hey, you know what? We're just going to live just on my income, no matter what, no matter how it is. And so she stayed at home with our boys.
That's awesome. And oh, by the way, she could be called a real estate professional if she's actively involved in your portfolio. Talk to your CPA about that, not me. That's a really cool thing.
Good call.
But when do you, because you're almost there, you're close. Your W-2 gives you borrowing ability, no doubt. When do you look at going, I'm going to leave the day job behind?
Yeah, maybe 40, but you know, I do some work with family, so I really enjoy what I do. In my mind, it is just nice to have the security and the I don't like feeling like I am forced to come into work every day.
Yeah.
Even though I do, but I don't like the feeling of being forced to.
No, so I have a buddy, part of the Three Amigos, Dion, same deal. He loves his job. He'd probably do it for free. He's like, I made work optional and I'm okay with that, but I'm going to keep showing up because I love doing what I do. That's an amazing feeling. So how often do you talk about money in like, not your wife, like, just because again, I think one of the things that's not done enough is, you know, friends, your network, they talk about money or income or expenses.
Oh man, freaking all the time, man. I don't think it's a dirty subject in the slightest.
Awesome.
I think that it's something good that encourages other people. And I like to hopefully help people realize that they can make changes rather than just kind of sweeping underneath the rug, which is what a lot of folks do, unfortunately. And iron sharpens iron. So a lot of times those conversations really help me.
Yeah. So another thing you brought up, I think it was episode 1 today, you talked about the family being very Dave Ramsey-like, which means if you're going to buy it, pay it off before you buy the next one. Sounds like you were never really there. Like you were always
so at one point early, I actually really was very much against debt and that kind of thing, but actually helped lead a class at one point of financial freedom. But I just started realizing that taking a cash only position is also a bet.
Oh,
it is also a bet. And then I started realizing that the system that we're in is very much debt driven and rewards debt. So as long as you're in debt, but also taking it very I don't know how you say it, but cautiously,
conservative.
I think it is. Yeah. Conservative debt, I think is one of the best things you can do. So we may be in for a rocky time coming up. So I'm definitely shoring up a little bit more of my balance sheet than I have been. You know, there's been times when I only had $5,000. I'm like, okay, this is not an emergency fund. This is nothing. Dave Ramsey would be like, shoot me right now. But I'm definitely more being way more conservative than I even normally am, as far as making sure I have plenty of firepower just in case. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you have? Like, is there a book like when you were just getting started that was really important to you that might recommend for others to read?
Yeah, man. I'm classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, just the general. And then, man, you know, your book, One Real Time, was very good. I read that a few years ago. And then I'll started watching your daily content. I actually recommend One Real Time as one of the best ones.
Oh, I appreciate it. I didn't even know that. Thank you for that. So let me see if I can summarize. So you're 31. So I'm going to have fun with this because I can see the future. So you're 40 years old. Your cash flows, I don't know, let's call it 11.5 a year. Still working because you enjoy it. Are you still in? I'm going to guess you're in the same market. I'm not going to guess you're going to be attracted to other markets. You're going to be like, hey.
I'm probably staying in Chattanooga and investing only in Chattanooga.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Probably all still very residential, meaning this kind of feels like that's where you're comfortable. Fours and below. Is that fair?
You know, over time, I actually think that I like the, if the market shifts dramatically, I may end up going towards commercial. If the,
that's smart.
If I feel comfortable with the debt structure, which does change dramatically. But one thing I like about commercial is just I do like commercial tenants a little bit better than residential tenants.
So when you say commercial, you mean commercial.
I mean, like warehouse space, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I could see myself getting into that one day, but right now, residential is definitely what I know and what I want to stay with for now. That would only be if market conditions change. Right now, I wouldn't be comfortable locking myself into commercial 5-year adjustables, all that stuff. You know, I wouldn't want to do that right now.
Yeah, the debt structure of commercial stuff freaks me out. Right? We've had declining rates for 40 years. Nobody knows where it's going. It's going to be a different environment, and there will be blood in the streets when people's debt structure blows up. It's why I'm.
And when you see those blood in the streets, potentially, when Mike, whenever you see those blood in the streets, you'll probably be interested in going back into some kind of commercial loans, wouldn't you? Or maybe there's a 30-year fixed rate structure possible.
Oh, let's be very, very clear. It's 2025. There's blood in the streets and the assets that I've been chasing. I will take any debt I can. I will gladly take a 3 or 5 year ARM because the prices will be so depressed it won't even matter. It just won't matter. Right. So that's why I've been raising dry powder on purpose. It's why I talk on my daily show about what I'm doing. So yeah, I think there's a lot of syndications that are going to blow up once the interest rate changes. It's going to be interesting. So what else do you want to talk about, Philip, at 40? What else do you see yourself?
Hey, by the way, back to the market. Sorry, real quick. Back to the market. Do you see any reason for any downside as far as residential rental rates going down? I know you did your spreadsheet of, you know, how the average income goes up. Usually the average payment of, the average rent goes up as well with it. And downturns, usually rents continue to rise or stay the same. What would be a big factor for it to drop? Because that's really the only risk that I have because I have locked in debt right now. Do you know of any other risks?
So I've been doing this for 21 years. The only time rent went down or got soft was when everybody was becoming a homeowner. When I was declining tenants as renters and they were getting approved by loans, it was really hard to be a landlord because everybody could buy.
Sure.
So that's if we ever had like another national, everybody must own a home, give a homes away to anybody who could sign a piece of paper, that would be a problem.
That's interesting. And I guess the way to mitigate that would be to say, make sure you're getting good deals along the way to where your payment, you know, you have some wiggle room basically.
Yeah. Be conservative again. Even in rents have never gone down for me. They were flat for 5 years. You did have to give move-in specials like month off, half off deposits, but the rental rate stayed the same. But yeah, I mean, I've gone back historically. There's been no times rents went down nationally. There could be city reasons like the military leaves San Diego or the oil and gas thing in Texas or the shale in North Dakota or whatever that was. There could be local reasons why rents fall, but nationally speaking, hasn't happened in 40 years.
And who knows what the government will do if, let's just say, you know, things do blow up and the average person can't make their payments, you know, at some point that's a national security kind of thing. So who knows, you know, it's beyond my pay grade. You know,
I'm not paid to think about that stuff. So I don't think about it. It's just like,
I'm with you.
So let's talk a little bit more about Philip at 40.
Yeah. So Philip at 40, I think that over the next 10 years, I'm going to shift my mind from, what is the maximizing my monthly income and taking care of Philip to, you know, what is my life goal? What is my life purpose? That is what my 30s, I feel like, is going to be more about. And then my 40s plus is going to be how to implement exactly that. That kind of takes it from, you know, introspective of just focusing on myself to outside it. So I've done a pretty good job. I kind of hate to say it, but focusing on myself the past little bit. So I want to figure out a way to make my life matter other than just for myself.
Oh, I look forward to watching you do that because that's a fun experience. You don't have to be sad. I did exactly the same thing. I was so myopically focused on money, personal, family, protect my family at all costs kind of stuff. And then at some point you hit that freedom number, you get a little extra and you're like, all right, how can it be more impactful? So I look forward to seeing what you can do, Philip. You've got an amazing story. It needs to be shared. Thank you very much for bringing it. Do you have a social media that people can follow and watch you buying and selling, or do you have any places where people can follow you?
Yeah. I don't really have much content on it yet, but I have a very small channel. It has like 3 videos so far, and I'm going to put out some more stuff. But it's called Real Career Young Money, and I was trying to discuss with some young guys maybe some additional career options for young guys out of college. So you can hit me up on there, hit me up on Facebook. I'm just here to help whoever. So
Awesome, Philip. Thanks for doing this, man. Nice job.
thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.